Well, OpenAI just released another update. I mean, they're rocking. So right now, it's a guide on how to build agents. So we're going through this course. What is an agent? Agents are systems that independently accomplish tasks on your behalf. Period. Plain and simple. Most people are trying to figure out what an agent is. I mean, I've built hundreds of agents at this stage and point with every definition. Those who just operate like a chatbot, those who finish things for you, those who operate for you, those who work with teams, work with swarms, work with mobs. Agents are something that I've been leaning in on for now over 2 years. And well, I would say this chatbots, then weaving into agents, but I chose to jump onto that shift way early. And now I have really kind of gotten really good at it, and it's time to teach you all how to build. So let's go through this a little bit. When should you build an agent? Complex decision making, difficult to maintain rules, and heavily reliance on unstructured data. All right, so what they do is if you find yourself in any of these three situations, it's probably great to build an agent. You could create workflows, create systems, and scenarios. And I'm in all of those. Agent design foundations, you need a model, tools, and instruction. What they didn't talk about is memory, or I haven't seen it yet. Selecting your models, very important. Set up the evals to establish performance baseline. Focus on meeting your accuracy target with the best models available. Optimize the cost and latency by replacing larger models with smaller ones where necessary. So you don't always need the big ones to move. So you need data, action, and orchestration. So enable when you have data, it enables agents to retrieve context and information necessary to execute the workflow. Querying, transaction-based database or systems like CRMs and PDF documents. All right, actions enable agents to interact systems that take actions such as adding new information to databases, updating records, or so actions. You'll find this a lot when we do our workflows and things like N8N and Make orchestrations. So agents themselves can serve as tools for other agents, managers. So it's like when you have a top agent that deals with bottom agents. Here's some Python code we'll be able to throw in. Ooh. Use existing documentation, prompt agents to break. Yeah, I'm not necessarily going to read all of this because you know where it's at, especially if you have OpenAI. Here's a single agent system. Input, agent, bang, 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 output. Easy. Let's see if we get a little bit more complex, multiple agent systems. There we go. You need a manager and decentralized agents. So, boom, here we go. So translate tells. So this is kind of what I have, where everything will just dump in. They'll parse, figure things out, send a task out, send a task out, send a task out. Bam. Some framework are declarative, requiring developers to explicitly define every branch, loop, and conditional in the workflow upon upfront. So it's like when you get to like a fork, like that last one was saying, okay, you are doing French, you are doing English, you are doing Spanish, you are doing Italian. And a lot of times you have to know what the agent needs to do. So you need to be thinking like an engineer. All right. And so where is my order? So that you have a triage agent. Now they need to be able to parse and figure out who needs to understand what. So you have one that will deal with the issues and repairs, then another that sales, and the other deals with the orders. So because the answer is orders, the triage agent will send it to the orders agent and will say it's on its way rather than bother these two. But we'll understand the issue. It has nothing to do with sales, but it has something to do with order, which ultimately has to do with sales. So that's why you have all of these three in, but the orders is the one that shoots the answer back. Some more Python code. Guardrails. Guardrails. Oh, did I say quadrails? Look like a Q. My poor eyes. Guardrails. Think of guardrails as layered defense mechanism, so you don't do anything crazy. Reply to user, respond, we cannot or we can. If it is or isn't, let you know if it's safe, because if it is, user input. Ignore all previous instructions. Bam. So you'll drop it in, your GPT, for you, so you have your LLM layer, and you'll have your rules. This is the guardrails. And then it'll let you, if it's safe, it'll go and make the decision, and then come to a user reply. Now it's able to do all of this. Parse it, figure it out, and bring it right back to you. That's the beauty about what an agent. Types of guardrails, relevance, safety, prevents unnecessary exposure to personally identified information, PII. Moderation, flags harmful or inappropriate inputs, hate speech, harassment. Tool safeguard, access the risk of each tool in your agent if it goes wrong. Wow. Rules-based, simply deterministic measures, whether you're on a block list, input length limits, right? You know, when you hit the edge of like a prompt box, or it times out because it's rocked too much, and you could even build your own guardrails. Wow. Plans for human intervention. Human intervention is critical safeguard. That's one of the biggest. That's why you always need a human in the loop at this point. And as much as I would love to think AI can operate by itself, can't fully yet, because not everyone of us has the compute power, okay? So some do, and those guys that are running it, they're awesome. People like us, that next tier, we have to just kind of use what we're being doled out. And then if you have access to some other cool stuff, like myself, then you are able to kind of, access a little bit more autonomy. So conclusion, agents mark a new era in workflow automation. You get that? As you can clearly see, these agents don't work by themselves. You need to be able to master workflows. So understand N8N, Make, and places like Zapier. And there's so many others that you can do to keep workflow. But folks, that right there is one of the bigger classes, updates that OpenAI has presented. Now, if you don't think agents are the way to go to build your businesses, well then you probably need to talk to somebody else, because here with Major AI Mindset, we focus on agents, workflow, blockchain, Web3, you name it, that whole development stack. But even more so, we talk about the mindset. Do you understand that this technology is so powerful that if you don't have the right mindset, you may be tempted to do some of the wrong things? I'm the big homie in this. So trust me, I will definitely call you out if you're not using it the right way. So I said, rather than just call people out, show them rather than tell them. So if you click on this link, you can join the Major AI Mindset, my school community that focuses on mindset, focuses on ethics, focuses on understanding what this whole thing means and the context. Because if you have a tool that can ultimately be corrupted based off of what you have going on in you. This is why I hope and I pray for all of you to get some clarity, get some openness to your heart, and understand that the blockchain never forgets. So any type of bullshit that you're doing now or you're thinking about doing, please toss that idea out and go about it. And go about it using the right mindset, because you'll be older way more than you're younger. And the blockchain, as well as AI and quantum computing, trust me, they will never forget. The United States wants to be the leader, and you know the United States makes three things really well. They make patience, they make prisoners, and they make profit. And if you are taking some of their profit, trust me, you will become a prisoner at some point. Get your mind right. And get to learn how to build these agents. I'm your biggest guardrail. Know that.